and tell ourselves whether we will see something different. The confidence in INEC, not just the commissioners, but also the staff, is at the lowest level. More reports are coming out from Edo that shows clearly that the reports in IRF are now being, the CTC, the certified true copies are no longer reflecting the results cited immediately after the election. So we are seeing now that whereas the IRF was, as at the day of election, as at the day election closed, it was very clear there was much discrepancy in IRF. Now if you look again, some of the votes that ought to be cancelled, those who are voting and those not certified by proper accreditation, that margin totally wiped off. At least without any further allegation, it should require some kind of rerun for those areas. Okay, how should the courts respond to these alleged absurdities and abnormalities? And let me say it clear: if you don't do justice in a Edo case that's glaring, there's no guarantee that there will be justice in Ondo or justice in 2024. I'm happy that some of the people who observe these elections are here. There's no doubt about the data is clear.
Different experts, including forensic experts, they are all coming out, also legal giganos, all of them are coming out to insist that Edo state election wasn't an election. And indeed, it was not an election, it was indeed selection. Now, the question I want to ask is this: if INEC knew, they are aware that they don't want to be giving the people's, delivering the people's mandate to them, right? They don't want people's vote to be counting. Why do they allow Nigerians to be spending billions of naira to conduct an election? At the end, they will do selection. You see, some of us knew that definitely that Edo state election was going to be rigged. It was clear. T-Pain Pablo Escobar said, "I will give Edo back to APC." Now, in giving Edo back to APC, he didn't even do it intelligently. It was so childish, too obvious. You could see the audacity the APC have before election. Imagine not allowing, this thing, what's it called? Allowing their candidate to grant an interview, to attend any broadcast, any interview, any debate. No, they were so confident. And those things, we are not that. We are not dull. We are too civilized. We will not leave such an exposed candidate of PDP, even Labour, a well-groomed man to vote for that is semi-literate. It's not done. It's not possible. But look at all the proofs. This election, indeed, should Nigeria, the so-called giant of Africa, should we be talking about this now, in the year 2024, in this century? This is why I respect the Americans. Most of you know I never liked Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because of their ideology. But recently I've come to like them. I like them for the maturity that they displayed in this 2024 election. Number one, that made Joe Biden to win my heart. Number one, not against Trump. No, what I like about it, because don't condemn people completely. What I like about Joe Biden, what he did this recently that make him win my heart. Number one, he knew he was not fit, right? He decided to step aside and let his vice contest. Africa man will never do that. Number two, when Trump was attacked, he tightened up security. When he was attacked the second time, he called him. They had, a cordial discussion. That is maturity. That's decent politics. Okay, Kamala Harris lose. She went on the handle to humbly, agree. You get my point? No dragging of issue. Nobody is fighting. Nobody is going to court. Where will Nigeria grow up now? Why we Nigeria, our so-called leader, just choose to become the weapon fashioned against the citizens? The weapon that said Nigeria will never move forward. The weapon that said Nigeria will never enter promised land. Why? Dear Nigerians, when are we going to rise up? Are we going to stay like this until we are all consumed by all these if not for Facebook, I don't want to have issue with Facebook and YouTube. All these what Oyibo they call vampire, but we get for them. You understand? When are we going to stand up against them? This is getting out of hand. This is too much. Let's await and see what the court is up to. It's a pity.
And IREV, the introduction of IREV through the Electoral Act of 2022 is meant to strengthen our electoral processes. This means that what is put on IREV should be able to match what the CTC. But from the documents before me, none of the documents match. So I think we've seen that on the screen, whereby what's on the left is, even though from the same state, local government area, registration area, polling unit, vastly different. The numbers are different. You've already highlighted some of the key things that you mentioned, but tell us, following this, just a simple analysis of what you obtained on IREV and CTC, there's stark differences, but you then went on further to do a forensic audit on the signature. What were your findings? What did you find out?
Okay, so if you also look at, using that example, if you look at the signature, you realize that the person, the returning officer, the presiding officer, that's a different signature because they hurriedly rigged the elections. I mean, this is very appalling, because what we normally see before now is that political parties rig elections through overvoting and other means and all that, maybe tearing ballot boxes or ballot papers and mutilating them. But this is institutional rigging perpetrated by INEC, and this should be a concern for everyone. So if you look at it, you will see that the signatures are different. Not just that, we contacted one of the best forensic experts in handwriting in South Africa. He is the one who actually verifies whether Nelson Mandela's signatures are actually original since he passed. So he's the one who identifies that. So he's an expert, and this is his expert statement to us. The statement was released to us, or the examination report was released to us on the 29th of October, 2 days ago. And that's why we haven't come public, because we're waiting for that result to happen. Now, if you look at this is his report, right? Q1, Q2, Q3. You will identify that it was one person in INEC who sat down and did all this handwriting.
According to the forensic
report. So if you look at it, Q1, Q2, the same thing that he used to write this. So if you see 20, his 20 is the same, his 3 is the same, with everything across board. So I'll give you the result, the forensic examination report, and you look at it. So it is appalling. And I think this should frighten everybody. If we do not want to practice a democracy, we should just say we don't want a democracy. We just want to appoint people to go and sit. We shouldn't be budgeting billions of naira to organize an election that INEC will bundle. We shouldn't raise the hopes of people to say that you should come out and vote, participate in an elections, do your civic responsibilities and perform your duties, and INEC will bundle that. That is frustrating, and that would actually lead Nigeria to mayhem if we are not careful in the nearest future. So for us as an organization, we are not stopping here. What we are actually going to do now is to file this to ICPC. ICPC has to charge and prosecute these people for the criminality that they are perpetrating, from both the INEC rec down to the presiding officer and everybody that is involved, including the head of legal in Benin City, in Benin, who is actually the one who issued the CTC copies to us and to every other person that has actually applied.